is Cypher Morrison, and this is This Week in Car Audio. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Tune in. We'll be talking about bass, talking about chips, talking about rings. You ain't got them, zip your lip. You got a problem you haven't found, check your grounds. The show about to start. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Yeah. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio.
Welcome to This Week in Car Audio with your host, the Judge, Doug Stockton, and co-host, the internet and movie star, Jeffrey Fernandez. What's going on, Jeff?
Nothing much. Another Monday.
All right, I got a couple more to share too, and I'm almost done. Show this last weekend. Nothing coming up. What are you at?
No, nothing. No show this weekend.
Okay.
Coming up pretty soon, though.
Coming up pretty soon. Me too. I'm going to take this week off. They're doing the, I have shared it now to all the groups. Oops. And here I am. I'm the one without the volume. Philip Harper's watching. Haven't seen that name on here yet. Our guest this week, Arthur Shaker Turgeon. What's up, you turd? I mean, Turgeon?
Oh, no.
Dude, it's so
Shaker.
easy. Shaker, as you know. How's it going, Shaker?
That's great, man. How you guys doing tonight?
All right. My post was removed.
Oh, no.
Oh, you know what? It always gets removed because I don't have the other information on there. That's fine. I'll go back and fix it later on. Anyway, so Shaker, let's see. You were the 5-time world record holder. This is only DB drag stuff because that's the stats I could pull up. Always gets removed because. Was that me?
That was me.
And 5-time world record holder and 3-time world champion. Would you mind telling us about your championships real quick?
Yeah, we got to play early. Very lucky to sponsor by Rockford. We started in the mid-'90s. We started setting out world records in 97, 98. Started with USAC with the legal world record with flash dance, and started up in DB drag, and we just started making all kinds of noise. 97, 98, 99. We set all the world records then for all three organizations. I think in 98 we were the first and only amateur to ever break the 170 decibel record playing bass on the DB drag term lab. Back at amateur in the amateur 5 to 10,000 watt class. Still have that record, and no one could ever take it away because they took those amateur classes away from us. So always feel proud to be able to keep that one record as far as all the records that are thrown around with this sport.
Moses is saying it's a black screen. Let me check on my YouTube page just to make sure. How about just starting off by telling us what got you into car audio? Who was it? Your uncle? Your dad? What got you into car audio, and how did you get started?
Yeah, I always just like to have, loud, fast little cars. And my first car had 4 6x9s in the back, and I had a little place called Kelly Stereo in Laconia, thinking I was some kind of badass, and they laughed at me and introduced me to Rockford Fosgate, and I got my first Series 1 12s with two punch 45s. Running them, and I got Rockford audiophile fronts, and I had a punch 60 running those. So I started off with the early punch equipment, and that was the beginning of it. Fell in love.
Yep. Oh, so that's so it was nobody in particular. It was just a little bit of love for you from your so you just heard a stereo system and were like, dude, I gotta have one of those, or?
Yeah, I think I drove by a car stereo store one day, and there was a kid out there doing a demo. He had 8 Celestian 18s in the back of it, and it just moved things, and I never seen or heard anything like that. And I said, you know what? That looks like it'd be a lot of fun. And I jumped in, hoof mountain, went for it all and started having fun with it, and I never looked back.
So when I was 15, similar story, right? So there's a car stereo shop called Nevada Auto Sound, and that's in Reno. And I was starting to get into. I was like, man, bass is cool. I was doing a lot of bad stuff at that time. I may have commandeered some things out of other people's vehicles,
Oh no.
and may have got me started into the bass thing. That's why I will tell you, every time I've ever had stuff stolen from me, I can't complain about it or nothing, because, you know, karma's a bitch and gets back to you sometimes, you know.
I've had stuff stolen from me before. Trust me, it's
Yeah.
not a good feeling.
No, so I may have commandeered a thing or two in my past life. So I went to Nevada Auto Sound, and there's this red mini truck, a red Datsun B2000 with a camper shell on it, out in front. And all of a sudden I hear, ooh, like a prayer starts going, right? Just the intro for like a prayer. And then I hear Madonna with her going. And then as soon as the first note drops, bam! I was like, poof! Dude, I got to be part of that. And that was really what hooked me on having bass. I mean, it made me feel like my chest just went, "Gah." And now, nowadays, looking back through the eyes of a 15, 16-year-old kid, man, I thought that was super loud. It might have only been 135 or something back then, right? Because it was 615 Eminem Godfathers on a single Zeus 1,000 watt amp.
Nice.
So, but yeah, that was really my, dude, I got to be part of that world.
Yeah, yeah. And then once I walked my foot into a car stereo store, which really hooked me, because it's one thing to see it like at Best Buy, but it's another thing to get to a place that has the good equipment, knows how to install it, and can keep you coming back for more and more and more. That was the the next part of it. Get a good shop, and we started out with a little place called Kelly's, and then I ended up with a great shop called Custom Auto Radio in Saugus, Massachusetts. And we had the famous Dan Burke who owned it, and Hollywood Jamie Perkins, who was my installer. And Jamie was amazing. He did sound quality for a long time, built a top 3 SQ car for Iasca, and I met him at a show and turned him on to come in and build and shaker, and the rest was the limit. He built the most incredible truck I've ever had in my life.
Okay. Just going to get over a couple of these people. Philip Harper, Steve Fonte, Eric Reed, Tyson Garvin. We have Freddie Montoya, Tiffany Whitaker Paris, Woody McDonald, Moses Alejandre, SQ Sounds. So SQ Sounds and Tiffany Whitaker Paris, they are from Barbados, and they watch this thing quite often. So they're friends of the show. Speaking of friends of the show, before we get going, if you guys don't know, check out, if you guys are a praying type of folk, Rob Culler. He is not doing well at the moment. He's definitely a friend of the show, been on here multiple times. He's helped out numerous times with different little things, as far as the Term Lab has gone, as far as this show's gone. We definitely a good friend of ours, him and his wife Heather. But keep him in your prayers. He went into the hospital yesterday, and it was not looking good. The last update I saw was it's looking better, but still not great.
Right.
So please keep him in your prayers. If you guys know who he is or whatever, hey, get better, buddy. I know he wants to be at the Triple Fest this weekend. It's going to make it tough on him. I don't think his wife's going to let him go. So,
or the doctors.
Yeah, or the doctors. Hey, so Shaker, why don't you tell us about that picture right behind you a little bit first?
Oh,
well, I had to bring her up, Miss Elma Gates. So anybody who knows old school knows that this woman needs to be recognized. She truly opened the eyes of a lot of people and brought car audio to a different level. And she was probably the best spokesperson the industry has ever seen. There are a few people who didn't like her because no one likes to be bit on top, right? But
Mm-hmm.
she truly was one of the most amazing people. She would talk to you. She would help you. Um, her team would help you. Her team, when they had Rick Jones on there, and they helped everybody. They're just amazing people, and I'll forever be grateful for Elmer and bringing the light to SBL, because she showed up to put a stop on Mr. Mark Fukuda.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
well,
Yeah.
unfortunately, Tim Maynard, who also showed up to take the new reins from Mr. Fukuda in the Rockford reins of having the top SBL vehicle, also got his panties all in a ruffle because she stomped him into the ground too, and the Terminator at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And God, that was a that was an eye opener that no one ever saw coming.
Yep. Yep. No, that's very cool.
Mhm.
So what did you compete against Alma, or you can tell you're no, you can tell you're Northeast because it's Almer, you know. So
Alma, yeah, Alma.
not Alma. We don't pronounce the A's. We had them as R's, you know, back in that Northeast area. But
So I
anyway,
fortunately did not compete against her personally because
okay,
she was always in a higher class than me.
okay,
Right.
But
But you guys were both extreme, right?
yeah, I was usually
Yeah.
extreme. Most of the years I competed in the extreme 5 to 10,000 watt class
Okay.
Mhm.
because my Rockford amps were a lot smaller than most of these guys, and I was only using. Well, my first world record was extreme amateur 12 plus woofers. Then we did 4, then 2, then I did extreme 4. So we had built different boxes that actually won, but most of the time with Rockford Power, the amplifiers were a lot smaller than most of the other equipment out there.
Mhm.
And so we were using efficient equipment and finding good ways to be able to apply it to our application and make it really loud.
Okay. So what was your So you were using Rockford amps. What were you using for subs and?
Rockford too.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was all Rockford.
Rockford all the way down the line
Okay.
until 2004, where we switched over and we took Rockford out of it, where Team RF broke up.
Okay.
And we ended up swinging over to Chris Dragon and the JBL equipment.
Yeah, the JBLs, those were the big amps that they had, right?
JBL Crowns.
Yes, the
Yeah, the
crown.
crowns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we set
That was the
Huge.
first 20,000, I believe, was the crown.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, there was surfboards. I think the ones we got were 8,000.
Okay.
The very first ones they came
Might have
out
been
with.
10,000 when I first saw them.
Maybe they were 10,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the very first ones. And we had 218s in it back then. Steve Cook
yeah.
actually set up. We took it to Audio X, and
Oh, Alabama.
yep, I drove it all the way on my flatbed out to Alabama. Steve took it all apart, and we rebuilt the whole truck with the 218s and the 4 JBL Crowns. And we took it to Steel Valley,
Mhm.
and we set the world record with Extreme 2 at 171.9 in 2003 or 4. 2003, I think, or 4, one or the other. And that was going to be my 4th DB drag world title ring.
Uh-huh.
And a gentleman there, Mark, I don't remember his last name,
Beat you.
made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
Oh, is that
Oh.
okay? So
Oh.
tell us that story. That week I kind of heard this story. I'd love to hear it from you, your version of it. So tell us about it.
We showed up there with setting a world record with it, and this gentleman showed up with his own Extreme 2 vehicle, and he had spent like $50,000 on this thing. He was like, he walked in the store like he was going to be setting world records, and when he was 3 dB below me at the 168s, he was just like blown away, and he really tried to friend me and asked me how I could get to that level, and I said, well, if you're going to do Extreme 2, you're in the wrong class. And basically he said, well, what do I got to do? Can I buy your truck? And
Wow.
I said, well, I'm really not for sale, but I guess if you gave me enough money for it, I guess I could build another one. And he offered me a price I couldn't refuse. I just couldn't say no to it.
What year was
Yeah.
that?
2004.
2004 World Finals, right?
Hmm.
He won. He took Shaker and won. It was 05. Maybe it was 05.
Yeah,
But
'cause
either
I'm
way,
looking
he,
at here. Still Valley, May 21st, 2005. Extreme One was the last time you competed.
yeah.
So that's when he
What
bought
was
it.
the score there?
You did a 170.9, but on April 1st, just before that, you did a 171.2 at Spring Break Nationals.
Yeah.
But the difference too also were those meters were kind of janky. So your number was you had an idea of what number you were going to do, but that doesn't
Yeah.
mean that's the number you were going to do. Why
That's
don't you
true.
tell us about that part? Because you were telling me about that pre-show. You were telling me about how part of the fun was showing up and not knowing what your number was. So tell us
Yeah, I
about
mean,
that.
today when you watch you guys build these things, everyone with all the advanced meters, you know, to a tenth, every time you burn, where you're going to hit. Back when we were
Yeah.
doing it, we would show up with the show. No one had a meter. Everyone just kind of had an idea how loud they thought it was. And you showed up with a disc or two discs and you put it in, you competed. When I first started, we used audio controllers and acoustic. And the audio control back when I started only went to 136 dB. So anything above 136, it wouldn't even register. So we showed up at competitions where there were 4 or 5 of us that would max that meter on every burp. 136, 136 to the point where the judge, you guys, would choose the CD for us, put the CD in, and that's how we would compete. And it would eventually knock off the guys who were in that frequency range.
Yep.
And then even as far as going into the late 90s and 97, 98, I mean, we would show up at the USAC finals, IASCA finals. We didn't know how loud we were. We had no clue. No one had those meters to be able to put in your truck. You
Yep.
show up, you take a burp, you go back, you tune it again, you do another burp, and you hope it's louder. And this whole, you know, it was always a shock because there were a lot of people that were louder that never won because they didn't know how to compete.
Oh.
That's right. Some Eric Reed just posted in there. Linear X is when he started. As I was telling you, I actually bought a Linear X before the Term Lab. I bought an RTA Junior so I could use it for multiple things. But yeah, I mean that was actually back then. That was a full system. You didn't just buy a sensor. Well, they didn't have sensors. It was a stick mic. And if
Yes.
something went wrong, you had to send it back to the factory to get repaired. And oh man, it was a pain in the butt.
They had
Show
that
them Eric Reed,
suitcase.
Yeah,
Oh,
the suitcase.
that suitcase
for-
thing where you stuck the mic in and then
Yep,
it
calibrated.
calibrated it. Yeah, it calibrated it, right?
Yes,
And
but
I bet you those things weren't cheap.
yes, but if you were like Shaker's van or something like that, you may
Mhm.
blow the diaphragm. And if you blew the diaphragm, then you had to send the whole mic back to get repaired.
Mhm.
It wasn't like I can just call up and say, "Hey, send me another mic." You
Yeah.
had to send it back, get repaired. So I mean that was part of the issue with some of those old things back in the day.
Eric's a good guy. Eric is probably one of the best photographers I ever met in my life. He used to take pictures of us driving around doing crazy stuff. So shout out to Eric Reed. He's a great guy.
All right.
Ah, cool. Yeah.
So okay, so Nick Semino, he says we loved Shaker when he came up to Canada. So that's where Steel Valley was right on the border, right?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
we went to Canada several times to go up there and compete with those guys. With Frankie and with Nick, and those guys are just fantastic guys. The Canadian crew was always fun.
Yep.
They took us to a place called Whiskey a Go Go. Oh my God. Yeah. But yeah, it was Canada was just a whole different place to go compete, place to go have fun. They used to take us out, and Frank took us out on the town at the night, the nightlife, and just a bunch of friends getting together. It didn't matter what equipment you had because that was what it was all about. You had kicker, you had. It wasn't a matter what equipment you had.
Right.
You just wanted to show up and have fun together. I didn't give a shit what you had for equipment. I just want to come get loud and then let's go party.
Yep. So this is the 25th anniversary for DB Drag. We are going to have a unified finals again this year. Since 2007, we've had separate world finals, East Coast, West Coast, to help cover. You know, it gives a better opportunity for people to get, compete against each other. We do it over the internet, but being face to face with your opponent is different than over the internet. Not saying that over the internet is not the same as winning because the meters are so accurate now. It doesn't matter that you're in different places, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But being all together, like I said, I'm trying to convince the California guys to go. Jeffrey's working on some of his Texas guys to go to World Finals. For them, it's not too bad. California guys, you're looking at 3 days each way, but we're trying to figure out transports. So can you share with us part of the World Finals experience that you had when it was just a unified World Finals?
Well, I mean, finals back in the day was just the ultimate get together for everybody whose passion was the same. Mm-hmm. And when you showed up at finals, you brought what you brought, you had what you had. And when you put the number up, that was it. It's not like, and so at the end of that day, you would go amongst your peers and friends, and you would truly celebrate that full year. And I just miss Nashville. Nashville, Tennessee was always the great meeting place. Mm-hmm. The ambiance of the city and the town, and to walk around the old school Nashville with the barbecues and the bars and just even the hotel bars were fantastic at the Bridge Hotel, and just to meet the people, all the representatives, all my Rockford reps, the John Moores, and all the reps from would be up there with their credit cards buying everybody drink. And
exactly, yeah.
The guys from the Car Radio magazines taking pictures of everybody getting all fucked up and buying everybody drinks, and it was just the ultimate gathering of people from all across the country getting together with the same passion and enjoying each other's company. And it didn't matter what equipment you had. There were so many faces that you just recognized and saw, and it was just worth it all at that point. The trip to Nashville was the amazing thing, and I would go back I don't know where they hold the 25th, but if they hold it in Nashville again, you'll probably see my family be there.
Well, we aren't doing it in Nashville. We are doing it in Marlboro, or what is it?
Owensboro, Kentucky.
Owensboro, Kentucky.
That's not too far.
Owensboro, yeah, it's not too far. It's right by, I think, the water too. It was kind of like that one time we had finals at, where was it at? Where we took a riverboat for the. Oh, were you there for the competitor party?
Yeah, the boat
and we
cruise.
got the boat cruise with the light up cup.
Oh
yeah.
Was that Indianapolis?
Yeah, exactly.
No, that wasn't
No.
That was Louisville.
Kentucky.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
That's the one where we met.
99.
No. We did Louisville. It was like 05, 06, 04, something like that. And that's where we met Muhammad Ali down in the
Wow.
lobby of the thing. And I will tell you, I think I've told this story before, but my wife is a big time fan of all these she goes to SUR down in LA to see all the people on these reality TV shows, and my wife's really big into stars and stuff. I've met lots of stars just through some of the work. I've done houses. I built Jerry Rice's house, Joe Montana's house. Did stuff for John Fogerty. I did something for him. So I've met all these different people just in Captain and Tennille, for you old people. So I've done really cool houses for some really well-known people, and it doesn't bother me at all. It is what it is. But when I saw Muhammad Ali, kind of little fanboyed on him,
Oh, no.
I did. I was like, dude, it's him. Everybody's like, what are you talking about? No, it's him. And they're like, dude, what are you talking about? I'm like, it's the great one. Walking right there. And then they turned around, and it was Muhammad Ali. Hell, people. He stood down there for over an hour with us, and finally his wife grabbed him and was like, no, he's got to go to bed. Let's go,
Yeah.
But no. So, do you have any stories, Shaker, from Nashville you can tell us?
Oh boy, Nashville. Well,
Yeah.
other than the Nashville finals was the ultimate, like I said, and the stories I can tell you from the bar. They used to call it the Bridge Bar. And like I said, we used to have many gatherings of groups of people that would have conversations of much illiteracy and a lot of unimportancy. But is Tyson Garvin still on?
Yes, he actually just posted. They did the riverboat in 2000 also. So
2000,
he said,
that's
yep,
the
he
year I
said
was
Louisville was 05 or 06, but they did a
Right,
riverboat also in 2000.
I think 2000 is the year I was there.
Yep.
So, but Tyson, while Tyson's on, Tyson's one of those incredibly smart individuals who was able to figure out what John Henry was doing back in the day when he was kind of tearing up that mic. And he was putting up the 80s and the high 80s back in early 2000s. And Tyson figured it out and was able to prove it at a USAC finals with his little Cadillac with a couple of tens in the back of it. And he was doing like a 182 dB with it. And it was just so insane. And he was just a smart guy who figured all that out. And to finish the story, he actually got Tim Maynard involved with his truck. They applied the thing in Tim Maynard's truck to compete against John Henry, and he beat him, but the number was like 189 dB or something. So they called Ralph Randall called Maynard out on it, and they showed everybody what they did. They accused Maynard of cheating, and they banned him from USAC for the rest of his life.
Wow.
Got a full-on ban.
Yeah.
But they ended up going to the Linear X that year. And they put the Linear X in both those guys' trucks. And Elmer beat John Henry handily, because that was the competition. Because Gates wasn't playing the games with the microphone; they were playing real music. And
Got you.
Henry was kicking her ass with you couldn't even hear the van play. But they figured out a way to trick the mic, and Tyson figured it out too. So ask Tyson if he remembers.
Oh, he remembers. He's posting all about it. He's telling the story by himself over here. He says there was about 10 different ways I could have done what even number you wanted to see on the screen. So he could have manipulated those mics to do whatever number he wants. Yep.
And that's exactly what Tim showed him.
Okay.
To the
it's not the mics that they have now, of course, right?
No,
it was the faulty ones, right? That we used to use.
So they were scientific microphones, but they weren't designed for what we do.
For SPL.
SPL, right? So they are scientific microphones to pick up minute and small noises, but not 170 dB in a car, right?
Yeah.
So here's one of the questions. Tristan out of Barbados, he asked, said, Shaker, what event or show do you have your best memory from?
Spring Break Nationals.
SBN, what year?
SBN.
I had the most amazing year in '98 when we set the amateur world record at DB Drag Finals with the 170, and John Moore treated us to a cabana on the ocean front, my whole team, and we had the most amazing Daytona Beach Spring Break Nationals that year. We set records, and we partied, and we were on the beach. We had a private cookout. It was just mind-blowing. I can't even imagine having something like that again happen. But Spring Break Nationals was just always one of those places to go. We took Shaker on the beach when she was drivable. With 1815s, I was driving down Daytona Beach.
Down the A1A.
Yep. Hey, Bobby Riley just popped in. Says, who's that
Welcome,
guy?
Bobby Riley.
Oh, we got the Rockford guys in the house here.
Yeah.
Rileys and I
having a reunion.
Yeah, well, the Rileys and I happened to be competitor of the year the same year. We evenly matched the amount of points that Rockford had used on a point system, be able to compete for, I think the year before, Greg Cobbs had won it. But I think I was ripped off a point or two there, Mr. Riley. But anyways, those guys I'll tell you what, the Riley brothers were probably two of the most amazing competitors to ever hit the SBL world. They set the world on fire with that van, and just two great guys, just amazing people to be around, and truly just two of those guys that were, you look forward to seeing at the finals. You look forward to seeing it at spring break, and just guys that were They were just huggable guys, just real guys.
So as a matter of fact, Alan Riley, he is a bowler like myself, and I was talking to him on Wednesday,
Yeah, he's pretty
and
good.
he's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
Anyway, so him and I were talking on Wednesday, and his league ends. I think tonight's his last night of league, and he doesn't bowl during the summer, so he'll have 15 weeks off. And he said he'd love to come on here one of these nights and start talking some of the old school stuff.
let me
Yeah,
know.
make
I'll climb in and give him all kinds of questions. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's got to be able to take it because I watch him on the bowling podcast, and oh boy, does he dish it out on the bowling podcast.
Yeah,
So,
the Riley's never been shy.
oh yeah, no, neither one of the Rileys have
Not
ever
shy
been
boys
shy.
at all.
Yep. Don Hebig popped in now. Says, "What's going on?"
Hey, Donnie.
Nick Semino actually brought up that that 2001 World Finals was the big fail for the old term lap. That was the stick mic term lap. But
yeah.
so for anybody that doesn't know, that is what Wayne goes, there's got to be a better way to do this. And
Yeah.
that's how come we have the sensors that we do now in all these organizations is because Wayne saw the issue with the mics, stepped back and said there's a better way to measure this and more accurate and this, and he spent a lot of mental capital and physical capital on figuring out these mics. And like I said, Wayne's a smart dude, and the first set of mics that came out, a couple of the guys figured a way to spike those too, just like you were saying. So Wayne was kind of counterbalancing their spiking the meters. So, but anyway, like I said, the mics we have now are absolutely excellent. They're really cool. We could do some
I feel
internet
really
stuff.
bad for Nicky and those guys over in Canada because, quite honestly, in 2001,
Yep.
they'd hit the top of their game. They were like there, and
Oh, yeah.
they got screwed over pretty bad with that mic situation for them. And Nicky and there was another team from Canada along with Frankie wasn't there yet, but there was another guy that he competed with. There was a green Nicky. What was his name? The other van. Anyways, they were like really loud. The two of those vans or trucks, and that mic really screwed him over that year. And I felt bad for Nicky, but those another great guy, just an old school guy that showed up everywhere. And when you talk about SBL competition, you talk about Nicky Cremino. He was there.
He
was
said
the face.
Frank.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Nick Semino says Frank.
Frank. Yeah, Frank Valenti.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
20 hertz? Is he 20 hertz guys or
20 hertz audio, yeah.
Yeah, 20 hertz.
oh, there you go.
No, they had like an orange van, or no. It was a bunch of different colors, but yeah.
A bunch of different colors, kind of like the Noras van and the other ones.
Another classic guy right there, boy.
Oh, that's another Rockford guy too.
Yeah.
Old school Rockford guys.
Yeah, he built Shaker once too. He took it to Indiana and let him build a version of it. Didn't do very well, but it wasn't his fault. Just had bad equipment in it that year.
Yeah. I had a teammate there at World Finals in 2001, and we weren't paying attention, and one of those mics was super hot. And the guy that was in charge of watching the mics with our team failed at his job. We got on the wrong mic, and we lost by 2 dB to a guy that we know. If we're on the same mic together, we got him by 4 or 5 dB, which at a 163 level, 4 or 5 dB is a huge number. I mean, he wasn't even tapping on 60 if we got on the same mic. So, but on the great thing about it is Wayne did see the issue and created a new system of microphones that is, it's the gold standard nowadays.
Yeah, that stuff can't even happen now. Even if people wanted to,
Yeah, no, he's definitely.
Yeah, let's just make it clear. For people listening that, about the tricking the mics. Yeah, that's can't happen now. So
people try. People still try.
It's nice to see he's moving out and doing seminars again, and he's working with Gary Springay again. Gary's another guy. I don't know if you know Gary, but
no, I don't.
One of the old school originators. He's the original Rockford, the EPX symmetry with just one of those guys that all the major developments with Rockford early days.
Yeah.
And they're traveling around doing seminars now together.
Yeah, Nick, you're right. Azevedo did do that year, that 172,
Yeah.
and that's the one where my Azevedo was on the wrong mic. We should have had him on the other mic. He would have never even been close to a 70.
He had the black rabbit, right? Was it a rabbit or
You know what? I think he did have a rabbit, but he had a
Yeah.
steel wall in it one time, and I mean,
Oh, okay.
Azevedo constantly changed. He's out of
Right.
the Central California area.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and I'd really like to start doing shows at his shop again, but hey, he hasn't called me. So, but okay, so World Finals, like you said, it wasn't really about the competition. You were absolutely there to win.
Yeah.
And that was it. You were there to win. But ultimately, what you remember about the World Finals is what you did outside of the competing.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah. Because when you're in the room and you're competing on the mic, there were no friends. When you're against that guy on the other side, there was dirty looks. But when the show was over and the trophy was given out, the camaraderie began, the real friendship, the respect for the industry, the respect for the hard work, no matter what you had.
Mhm.
And at that point, all the shit talking, you know what I mean, that can be backed up. And I mean, you still have the shit talking. Love to watch it online, the Hank Fecks of the world, and the watching him argue with the guys from Brazil. It's always fun watching Alan Dante and Hal Del Rios. Hal
Yep.
is
Hal
Dante.
just- He just set another record for this year just now.
Yeah. So for now, I guess he was having some issues with his equipment, and so just two innovators that pushed Hal and RP Patel to step up and go after this. To say, hey, we can do that here too. It ain't just over in Brazil. So, and I think you're going to see them really put a real number up this year. I think we're all going to go, holy fuck, what the hell happened here?
Yes.
But, they're going to be strong this year, I think. So.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard some RPs kind of shared with me some of the stuff going on, and definitely I think we'll see some big things. Bobby. I see Bobby on here. Are you going to go to World Finals? He said, Bobby Riley said, everybody needs to go to World Finals this year. Going to be a great hangout.
Yeah.
I'm sure Nick is going to be there. So I'm sure, like I said, Nick Semino, I'm sure is going to be there. I'm going to be there, so it's always going to be a great time. But I'm a boring married guy, so I just like to hang out and meet people and learn about where they're from. That's a big thing for me. So
we may put it in my calendar, pencil it into my calendar for now, and we can take a trip up and what was the weekend again? I don't remember.
Oh, say Jeffrey, can you help him out here again? Tyson wants to know where, when is World Finals, what organizations? Maybe announce on here for people to know. And yes, I do have internet and can look it up, but I'm lazy.
So it's going to be October 1st and 2nd. It's a usual 2-day event. It's going to be in Owensboro, Kentucky. It's right by the river. Who knows? Maybe we should get Shaker on the competitor party committee, and then we could, get it really going. So if anybody wants to volunteer and help Celise plan out the competitor party, how it used to be back in the days, hey, let's do it.
Yeah,
it's have fun again, right?
Reach out to her and Wayne, and they're not going to ignore what you have to say. So
I was promised there'd be some freebies too up there, so maybe we can get some of those cups again with that light that lit up on the bottom.
I still have mine. I almost went and grabbed it.
Oh, dude, mine I think ended up getting rusted on the bottom where the battery went, so I had to kind of throw it out. But so let's get that going again. It was fun times, definitely.
Maybe you can find someone one of those T-shirt guns and get all your sponsors to do T-shirts again and send out the old Rockford T-shirts and the Kicker T-shirts, and those are all fun to win. Those are always fun.
Yeah, so I mean, we always obviously have shirts. They sell them at the event, along with give them out to the paid competitors. So if you guys are anywhere near or want to fly in, absolutely consider it. Come on down, October 1st and 2nd.
Yep. October 1st and 2nd.
Yeah, and then the following weekend I have to be in Vegas. Then the weekend after that is my daughter's wedding. Dude, I'll be flying all over because I'll be in Dallas for my daughter's wedding, so I'll be hanging out near Jeffrey's house.
Oh,
Actually,
hey.
we're staying at Jeffrey's house. He just doesn't know it yet.
You could take me bowling and give me some pointers.
As a matter of fact, my wife, my daughter, she even said for her, we're gonna do our whatever it's called, the practice dinner or whatever they call that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do our pre-wedding practice dinner, and then after that, we're gonna go bowling. I told my wife we're not doing anything Sunday, so I'm gonna have to talk to Alan Riley and see what tournaments are down there in Dallas, and just may have to see if I can hustle up some money there, since the guys in California don't want to hustle up no money against me anymore.
Yeah, let me know. I'll be there. I'll come check it out.
You'll be my staker. You'll be my backer out there.
I don't know what that means, but sure.
Hey, you like to gamble.
Oh yeah.
That's all it is. You just be gambling on me.
You'll be his +1.
That's right. Anyway, yeah. So any other cool stories you have from World Finals past? And I mean, obviously you're considering going now. I'm just saying. We'll try and get Alan and Bobby both there.
Yeah.
I just think about the old days and the times when we set records and having fun being popular when it was really popular, and being the breaking the USAC record with flash dance back in '97
on the B&K.
On the BK playing flash dance. And it's funny, when 2002 came, when the Extreme Force Shaker was doing 176 plus, we were doing 176.2, 176.3 with it, but we broke the box and we didn't know it. So the very bottom woofer of the box had pulled out. The screws had literally pulled away from it. So when we didn't touch it because it didn't blow anything up. We would play 176 dB with her nothing. But at the last time we ran it, we went in to look at the speaker on the back of it because we thought we smelled something. The speaker was literally pulled away from it. So when it was playing, it was banging against the box. So we put a piece of wood in there and reattached it again, and we hit it again, and we did 177.3 dB with it.
Dang,
so,
went up a full dB by attaching it, huh?
And then we took that same BK meter that we used in 1997, 1998. Mike Barfield had it, and we put it in shaker, and it did 170.5 dB in the dash with the old BK.
Okay.
Wow.
Don Hebig said he wants you to talk a little bit about. I wish I could pull that back up. Do you have that one, Jeffrey?
Oh yeah, it says Arthur talk about pulling a sub and turning it into a port and going WTF louder.
Well, we had to pull a port out of it. We were forced to change classes. We were forced to go from 12 plus to the under 12 class, and we took a woofer out of it and put a big port into it and put it in the very bottom of the thing, and we couldn't believe it actually gained like 2 dB. We did it because there was the competition for DB Drag Finals. There was someone who competed that was illegal. They had built a DD van that had, I think, 12 DD 18s or 15s in it. They hadn't competed with the vehicle, so they had to just DQ it. So when they DQ'd it,
Tor did it, huh?
Huh?
Tor DQ'd it.
Big
Didn't he?
port in the middle of it.
No. Tor, the guy from Scandinavia. Tor,
Yeah,
the
they
judge.
DQ'd it.
He's
Yes.
the one that DQ'd it, right?
Oh, okay.
DQ'd it. Well,
So-
they hadn't competed with it.
Well,
Yeah.
Tor was notorious. He loved the DQ vehicles. He'd jump on them and DQ all the way across the
Yeah.
windshield.
But back then, you had to qualify with so many points with
Right.
that vehicle to show up at the finals.
Still have to.
She competed with a little van, little Jeep, and then showed up with this monstrosity, and it beat everybody.
Oh, I think I remember who you're talking about. Yeah.
It beat everybody. She beat everybody, and then they DQ'd her.
Was
So
It was
Carlucci's?
Renee Foster.
Oh,
Renee
Renee.
Foster.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She showed up with this big van. They cut the top of it out, made this big extension
Yep.
on it, and you could stand
remember
in the
that.
port. You could actually get in the van and stand in the port. It was huge.
I think it had
Well,
like a
it did.
slope to it too, or something like that on the windshield. It was,
But she beat everybody there.
Yeah.
She was the loudest. And then they DQ'd her. So she blamed me because
It
at
was
that
your
year
fault,
she knocked.
obviously.
Well, she knocked me out of the finals. That was the one year I was having a bad year in '99 or 2000, whatever it was. And we tried to put 72 BD 1500s on 1215s, and we couldn't fit all the imps in there and all the batteries. We just underpowered. I couldn't power it all. So we were out of the show. We were in 11th. And then they DQ'd her, and they put me back in the finals. I remember maybe it was 8th. Maybe I was out of the show in 9th, and they put me back on the show in 8th. So they were all mad at me. So we showed up at the Astro finals. By then, by the way, I was using Rockford punch woofers.
You weren't Team RFs?
Yep, they just come over with the power woofer at the DB Drag finals that year.
Okay.
Ray Cobb's got the woofer. I didn't. So I got the woofer for Iasca. So they took the woofers out of my truck, put the new woofer in. I took a speaker out because we didn't have room. At that point, I was able to double my power to them. Because using the punch 15s, we could only use one 1100. When we ran the power, we were able to run bridge 2 to them. But I didn't have enough room in the back of the Blazer. So we had to start taking woofers out of it. So we took woofers out of it and made ports into it. We gained 2.5 dB. We went into Renee Foster's class at USAC and we beat her.
So when you say you made it in the port, so essentially it was like was it like an aeroport or right?
The box originally was sealed.
Yeah.
8 and 8.
Sealed.
We took one out of the bottom and one out of the top and put ports, like big tubes in it.
Yeah, tubes.
And opened the box up to ported. And it gained 2.5 dB.
Little did you know that was all you had to do to get louder. All that testing you were doing was worthless. Just take subs out.
Yep. 2 subs out. We gained 2.5 dB. We ended up winning the Iasca finals that year, beating her and beating everybody else in that particular class. And yeah, that was a crazy year. Renee Foster, her and John Henry almost got in a fist fight, or her husband.
I remember that.
They were
no, it was. I think it was at the awards ceremony. I think the husband threw the DB drag jacket down or something like that, right? Yeah, and then John Henry and yeah.
Because Jonathan DeMuth was also involved in that. Because Jonathan, I had to stand up with Jonathan because I thought Jonathan was going to get hit. So I went and grabbed somebody by the throat, thinking they were going after Jonathan. Everyone was starting to fight in there. It was a real Donnybrook for a little while there, but because John Henry accused them of cheating, and then it all blew up because we all know John Henry cheated. So then Renee accused them of cheating, and next thing you know, they were trying to fist fight.
There you go.
Wow.
All right.
That's the drama, right?
That's the drama there, boy.
It wouldn't be a finals without drama. So, you know, for those of you.
There's always a girl walking down the hallway crying. Otherwise, it ain't World Finals.
Well, sorry to hear that.
See, that's the stuff you guys see at finals. And, you know, you might see a little bit of it and, you know, not know the story. Well, you know, that's what these memories are made of. You know, we get to tell the stories of what happened behind the scenes.
Yes.
As long as there's no nasty strippers involved, right?
Oh, no.
I'm sure Jeffrey's got a few stripper stories back about finals.
Ones that I could probably remember or care to forget. But
that's right.
Yeah.
You're married now, so the stripper stories are limited.
But what Shaker was saying was, you know, the manufacturers are there with their credit card, and you know they'll take you out, and you know we might have hit a couple of strip clubs, you know, here and there, but that's the fun part. That was the fun part of it too.
Yeah. One Steakhouse and TT's. So, and I was CBS too. You know what? Back when CES was really popular before all COVID hit, when all the manufacturers got together with CBS. I mean, all our competitors, we all showed up for that too. That was another big show. Tell you
what is it?
CES, Consumer Electronics.
The electronics show in Vegas.
Oh, okay. I thought you said CBS.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love CES.
That was
Jeffrey's a big fan of CES.
That's the guy you want to go find.
Yeah,
they're out there too. They're out there deep.
Yep. And the big thing about CES is you walk around, you find your other DB drag buddies, and you go, so where's the party? Which one are we going
Exactly.
to? Are we going
Where's
Rockford?
the
Are we going MTX? Because those were always
man?
two of the big ones,
Oh,
right?
Kicker.
Yes,
Yeah.
Kicker,
And let's
big
be
party.
realistic. If you're
Kinetic
familiar with
would
it,
do their parties.
Yeah.
yeah, the Kicker
Sick.
Party was always the best. They always had a
Yes.
live band.
Oh yeah,
They
one
had
year I
like
went.
Hell,
Yeah, one year I went
concerts.
for the Kicker. They had Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and it might have only been 300 people in the room. So I mean,
Whoa,
you
wow.
literally had almost a personal concert with Kenny Wayne Shepherd. And I don't listen to his music or anything, but I mean, there's an obvious talent with that dude. And when you're that proximity and and in that kind of environment where there's only a handful of people there, man, you could really see the talent behind the guy, whether you like his music or not. I mean, and then afterwards, I mean, the parties were just, I mean, that's what it was. That's the
JBL's
parties
always
were
got the
always-
best. Chris Dragon and JBL, they have holds by nothing. They don't care. They have the best bands, the best everything. And let's be
Open
honest
bar.
about something. If you're familiar with CES, it's also the same time as the
Porn convention. That's right. Jeff knows all about that. Come on, Jeff.
Porn girls
I
all
may have
around.
known about it.
Naked women walking around all over the place.
That's why it was so popular. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't them going to CES. It was the other
porn
convention. that
convention.
did it.
Get to the bars where all the girls are hanging out.
So I don't think I've ever told this story on there. So one year I'm at CES, and me and Brian Nyman are getting ready to jump in this elevator, and Ron Jeremy's jumps on with us,
Oh,
right? So we're at the Palms. Obviously, we're there for the Rockford Fosgate booth. We're gonna go up and see Steve Mead, and Ron Jeremy's jumps on. Dude, he's got like 5 women with him, right?
no.
He's like, dude, you guys like the party? I'm like, Nyman's like, hell yeah, I like the party. And I was like, I'm a boring married guy, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, Ron Jeremy's like, check this out. Here's my hotel suite. Here's a key card. You need this to get in.
No
I'll be
way.
there in a half hour. Come on up. And I told Brian, I says, yeah, you know what, dude, I ain't doing that. You can go and do it, but I'm his ride, right? And I'm like, you just give me a call when you're ready to come. Oh man, he was pissed off at me. But yep, I turned down a party with Ron Jeremy's and whatever women he had, just because that ain't my way to get down, right?
It's probably for the best.
You weren't going to do him any good after he did it.
I'm sure of that.
Not on his level, anyway.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So that was my porn convention story, at CES and Ron Jeremy's. One time I did walk through the porn convention, and
Just
good
once,
Lord, I've only been to it one time, and if you had a CES badge, you didn't have to pay to get into the porn convention.
Wow.
And it was connected
That was
at the
way
Sands.
back when.
Yeah, so it was
at the
connected at the
Sands.
Sands, and so we walked through. Good Lord, dude, I've never seen that many dildos, not even at an adult bookstore. I'm just saying. Holy crap, dude, they had them in every shape, size you can imagine. And but I mean, that was
But you
part
know
of
what?
going to CES, right?
Exactly. And the thing about that convention, it was the AVN convention, Adult
Right.
Video News. You went to one, you basically went to all of them because
You
they're all
did.
basically kind of the same. So, but I think they're obviously they're not together anymore, CES and AVN. So,
No.
Oh, they aren't?
but yeah, those were the days. Those are the days.
Yep.
Were you back when? And you said, how long you been doing this, Jeffrey? Do you remember when Vanilla Ice came to USAC?
No, I've been competing since 2000, but I don't. Yeah, when was that?
98 or
USAC.
99?
Oh, wow.
Well, I
That
mean,
was
C420.
that was
It was 2002.
okay.
2001, 2002. It was in Tennessee at USAC Finals. They had
Ah.
Vanilla Ice do a show,
Oh.
and he was there. We met him out backstage.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that shit?
And then they had the Hawaiian Tropic bikini contest one year at DB Drag World
Yeah,
Finals.
DB Drag Finals. Yeah.
Yep. So one thing that was mentioned here, but the DB Drag World Finals is a standalone event. It is not going to be
Right.
USAC. It's not going to be IASCA, Mecca, Base Wars, whatever other organization. It is going to be DB Drag only. It is our 25th anniversary. We want to frickin' show off with what we can do. and we're there to have a great time.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
guarantee Wayne and Celise are pulling out the stops. So if you are going
Yeah.
to come out, definitely come out to World Finals. I can't express that enough. I'll be there. Jeffrey will be there.
Yeah.
Almost all the guests that we've had on here are going to be there. So I'm just saying, if you guys
Definitely
are
make
interested,
plans to be out there. I
Yep.
think they got a couple, maybe 3 host hotels that are filling up fast. So you guys want to, make plans to be there, do it soon.
yeah, there's
Book
Lucky
your
texting
room.
me again in the middle of the show. So you would fly into EVV, which is Evansville, Indiana. It's about a 43-mile drive from there to where the show is. So just so you guys know, that's where you're gonna fly in. Only reason I know that is because I had to ask Celise that, because I'm trying to book my flights right now to try and save some kind of money. Just so as you guys know, the way I view World Finals is that's my franchise fee for DB Drag every year. We don't pay as judges, we don't pay a franchise fee, but we do pay fees per event, and to maintain our 3X status, we are required to help judge at World Finals. So I'll definitely be there. Jeffrey will be there. Jeremy Creamer will be there. Wyatt will be there. Chet will be there. Probably. Oh, Ray Choi, obviously. We'll also probably
Andy,
have,
I think Andy said he'll be there too.
Okay, Andy. We're probably going to have, what's his name from Europe? Yinis.
Oh, you know who?
Huh?
Some of the old judges like Sam Horn, Sammy Benton,
Steve Benton,
David McLean.
David McLean, Sam Horn, they all kind of retired. I keep trying to get Sam on here. He pokes in every once in a while.
You know who told me was going to was from Trinidad. I forgot his name right now. Darren said he was going to be up there at finals.
Okay,
so.
And he's from Trinidad.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think the people from Barbados, Tristan and Tiffany, one of them was actually going to try and make World Finals to kind of get an introduction into DB Drag and want to bring it to their area of the Bahamas. So that would be awesome if they do. Totally awesome. But anyway, hey, we're running up on our hour right now. Really good. Shaker, hope you had a great time with us.
I had a ball. Listen, if those guys want to have the finals in the Bahamas, if they want to pay for me and my wife to do a cameo appearance to fly over to the Bahamas, I'd be happy to come over and bring my Rockford shirt and let them know what it's like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. You want to hit him with the final question? I didn't prep him for it, but.
Okay, Arthur. So, Shaker, I should say. There's a question that we asked all of our guests, but I almost feel like Shaker's a quintessential example.
I think he is too.
So I almost feel like I don't have the qualifications to ask him the question, but Shaker, so tell the people who are listening, what is your definition of a basshead?
Basshead is just someone who's dedicated to just being loud all the time when you're in your vehicle. And when you're not in your vehicle, you talk about it all the time. It's you eat, live, eat, breathe, and shit it. It's just something that you when you get depressed and you need to get in your car to make that feeling in your belly, take the shit away from your head.
Yeah.
It's just that I still today I have 150 dB car, and when I'm angry, I get in my car and I go play Pantera, and I just let it rip, and I just play it loud and proud, and it's just a bass head will always be a bass head. It's just it's a release. It's a way of life.
Basshead therapy.
Basshead
therapy. A way of life. Therapy.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Are we going to see you coming back into the lanes or doing anything like that, Mr. Shaker?
You may see me at the finals, but I got 2 amazing kids. My wife's birthday's that weekend, so if I get to go with her for the weekend, if she'll allow me, that would be great. But me personally, I just until I can see more manufacturers getting involved again and supporting more competitors from a off the street kind of guy, the Hank Vex, the RP Patels, the guys who are at that level, they don't need help, right? It's bringing it back to the kids who are looking in right now, going, "Geez, that sounds really cool, but how do I compete and do that without spending $1 million?"
Yeah.
So I think when that happens, when people start getting involved with helping these smaller kids get in and make noise again, then maybe I'll get involved again. If Rockford Falls Day calls me up and says, we got a budget of 50 grand, you want to play? Then I'll call up Hollywood Jamie Parkins and say, "Hey, Jamie, you want to play again?" And I'd make that decision then. But unless I got a sponsorship, I don't think I can spend the time and the money and the effort to build something that I had so much passion in to go compete the way I did. And when I have my passion to my family now. So I still love it. I still watch it every day. I'm still a base head. Still love talking with guys like you guys and Tyson and Nick Ramino and all my friends online. I had a whole list of guys I'm going to read off to you, but they're all great guys, and it's just fun to watch them. You guys will spend the money and make noise, and I'll be in the background watching, going, "Go get them, guys!" Alan Dante, piss friggin' Hank Veckoff. I want to see him do a 186, so Hank has to do a 187. So that's what I want to see.
That's cool. All right, Jeffrey, what you got coming up, son?
We got a couple of things. I've been in talks with a lot of the SoCal guys about getting DB Drag up and running again. Hey, just send me the date. I'll be down. Talking to a couple of teams. Team Gorilla Hertz, they're wanting to do an event, I think sometime late August. Trying to get with another shop that we used to do shows with. Gonna try to get one late June. Got that going. I got another DB Drag at Crossfire Car Audio coming up May 21st here.
That's right. Win some more Rogers money.
Win some more Rogers money. Right. Yep. Exactly. He loves giving it away, I guess. So, you go there to compete and then you might leave with $100. So definitely.
Go. All right, sure. And for me, I will be also doing an event Saturday, May 21st over by Hollister. So you guys want to come check it out, participate, come in. It's going to be the same show we always do, have a good time. It's actually Louis Electronics. It's going to be their first show back since like 2008 or 2007. Wow. So they're sponsoring the event, and they're asked me to come out and do an event. So we got Louis Electronics back on board. Also, for you guys, Jeffrey and I have been discussing all this stuff. Right down below me and right down below Jeffrey and right above Arthur there, we are going to offer those spots. We have a structured pay structure for those sponsorship spots. They could be teams, it could be an individual, it could be a manufacturer, it could be a stereo shop. We don't care. We have put together a fee for doing that, and that will run through. Those prices will stay what they are for season 2 as our viewership grows. So obviously will the price on the sponsorship. But if you guys are interested, check us out. You can see it in the links, but either email or instant message or text or whatever, Jeffrey or myself, and we can get that information to you. So we can get that, and any money that's raised, we split it 50-50, 100%. I actually put together a full business plan today. I'll have to talk to you about that some other on my way to the bowling tonight. But other than that, I really appreciate you guys for coming in. Thank you, Arthur, Mr. Shaker, for coming in and spending a little time with us. Hope you had a good time.
Yeah, nice chat with you old guys.
Yeah.
Nice chat with Nick Ramino and Tyson and the Rileys, and I was hoping that Tommy McKinney and some of the other guys might stop in. But hey, we had a great team, and I just want to say thanks again. And you guys keep pushing, and maybe we'll see you at the finals.
All right. Any last words for you two, Jeffrey?
No, just I think they put out the points requirements for DB Drag finals a little while ago.
Yep.
Not too many people are familiar with it yet, but go check it out. It could mean whether or not you're gonna go to finals. So I think they had the breakdowns on points as well, and I think there's a special program Wayne had put in there for a gas saver special.
Yep,
so
if you prepay for World Finals.
Exactly, yeah. So there's going to be ways, you can still make it to finals. So
Yep.
I would suggest everyone check it out.
Yep, that's what I have to say too. If you aren't going to finals, I don't know why. Please try and come. I mean, even if you just fly in, check it out, and you're not in the area, come in and do that. Support the industry and the businesses that you enjoy, right? So come on out, have a good time, be part of our World Finals. Even if you're not a competitor, come out as a spectator. We appreciate you guys. Once again, a great show. Thank you for being a guest, Art. Jeffrey, once again, as always, a great co-host again. I mean, it's an upgrade
Thank
from
you.
Lucky if he's still watching.
Oh no! Don't say that.
Well, he texted me in the middle of the show again, give me the LOL. What are you doing?
Okay.
So, because he did that a couple weeks in a row. But anyway, I got to go take some people's money bowling again tonight, hopefully, and we'll be back at this again next week. We'll talk to you guys next week, Monday night at 5:30 p.m. California time. Once again, the only time that does matter. And we'll be back here, and we'll have a new guest. I'm not sure who it's going to be at this moment. It may be Ricky Garcia. Another couple of things I need to talk to Jeff about, and we may pull in some other things. One of the things Jeff and I have been talking about is we may spotlight a team. So Team Send It, Team Hurts Feelings, Team Low Hurts, whatever. And maybe just spotlight the team captain and talk about their teams once a month. So we may even start that next week if Jeffrey's down with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, hey guys, thank you for tuning in. Remember, tomorrow morning I'll get all this stuff published. You can listen back on iHeartRadio, iTunes. What else do we have? Spotify. I don't know. I'm on a bunch of platforms. If you use a platform that we aren't on, let me know, and I will do my best and make sure I can get it distributed to there. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next week on This Week in Car Audio.